About 5 months ago, I made a tier list video on all the weapons in Operation 1. Today, I'm going to do an updated tier list, but this time I'm really only going to review the primaries, as the secondaries don't see that much use. Anyways, let's get into it. Starting off our list, I'm going to have to put the M16 in B tier, as it is good for one-shotting opponents if they don't have armor, but it is outclassed by the other DMRs, such as the M14 and the L1. And also, the grenade launcher on it isn't really that good, as its arc is very extreme. Next off, we're going to put the SCAR in A, and that's only really because of its shield attachment. Besides the shield, the rifle does a pretty low DPS compared to other assault rifles, especially because of its low fire rate. Third, we have our first free gun on the list, the M590. Which I'm going to have to put in B tier because it sports a very high damage and has a very low spread for being a buckshot shotgun. Coming up next, another shotgun, this time a slug shotgun. The Cal 12 gets C tier as it is a good sniper substitute if you're feeling like it, but its damage fall off kicks in pretty fast and it loses a lot of its damage. So it's not really that good at range. Next up, the M590's brother, the Spaz 12, is going into B tier because it does have a high damage and fires much faster than the M590, but its spread is much higher. Next up is the AA-12, which I'm putting in C. Just like the Cal 12, it's a slug shotgun, but this time it's automatic and does less damage. Overall, just don't really use it. Coming up next, our second free gun, the M14, which is a really powerful DMR. It can deal 123 damage to the head if you have an extended barrel, leaving an armored opponent on 2 health. So it's always a very good pick if snipers are banned. Next up, speaking of snipers, we have the AW50, which I'm going to have to put in A, as it is a very powerful sniper rifle. It can, matter of fact, one-shot opponents to the torso, even if they are wearing armor, but it does have a pretty slow fire rate, so it balances it out. The next sniper is the M24, which unfortunately goes in C. I do love the gun, personally. It's a really fun gun to use, but it is just outclassed by the AW50. Even though it has a faster fire rate, it only does 90 to the body, which is pretty low compared to other snipers. Next up is the L1A1. And I'd probably put it in B tier. It's a good, secondary DMR to the M14, especially if you can click fast, and it does hit for 110 in the head, which is always nice, as you can one-shot unarmored opponents. Our next gun is the first S gun on this tier list, the Haro M82, and that is because it does 110 damage to the body, instantly kills someone in the head, no matter if they're wearing armor or not, and for being a sniper rifle, it fires pretty fast. Coming up next are HK69, which we're going to put in the utility category. I say this because it's good for breaching and, playing vert on some sites, but it's not really your first pick of choice for fighting someone head-on. Coming up next, the FAMAS, I'm putting in S tier. This weapon sports an insane DPS, but it does come with a pretty high recoil, although I do think it is worth it. Next up is the M4 starter gun, which is also an S. I would say it's probably the most reliable gun in the game. It has a pretty decent damage and very low recoil, and it's free. Up next, another free gun, the MP5. Unfortunately, not as high as the M4. This gets a C. It's got pretty low damage, and there's definitely better options for SMGs available. Next up, we have the M249. It's only really good for trolling in low elo lobbies, so I'm gonna have to put it in a respectable C. Next, we have the AUG. I know a lot of people love this gun because you can put the 3.5x scope on it. Only assault rifle in the game that you can do that on, by the way. But it's overall just slightly worse than the M4, which is why it has its place in A. Now, we're on the MP7, which is an A. It's an upgraded version of the MP5, as it can 3-shot to the chest if the opponent is not wearing armor, and it has the fastest movement speed out of any primary in the game. Coming up next, arguably the best weapon in the game, the AK-12, which is going to be going in S tier, as it has a very high DPS, a high damage, and although it does have high recoil, just like the FAMAS, if you can control it, it is an insanely powerful weapon. Another S tier gun is the L85, which has a bit lower DPS than the AK, but has a very similar damage, and in fact has a very low amount of recoil, meaning it's good for starters or holding tight angles. Up next is the M60. Do not buy this gun. It's just a worse M249, which is why it goes in D. It's only really good, like I said, for low lobbies or capture. Next up, my personal least favorite gun in the game, the Vector, goes in F. It has very bad DPS, a tiny mag size of 19, and although it does fire fast, its low damage completely cancels it out. Next up, the P90, which gets a respectable C. It has an average DPS, but it makes up for it by having an extremely large mag size of 50, which is always nice for spraying through walls. The Ballistic and Riot Shield both go in util. I mean, they're not really used as weapons. The Riot Shield can't even be used as a weapon. They're mainly used to protect the wearer when, say, planting the bomb or something. And with that brings us to an end of the primary weapons in Operation 1. Who knows, maybe in 5 months I'll come back and make a part 3 to this if they have any more cool weapons. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.